Welcome back to the Module 4 of the Microsoft Outlook application course. In this particular video, we will continue with looking at folders, where we will revisit again and just briefly show you again inbox, the sent items, the drafts. But most importantly, we want to further show you how you can create your own folders and delete them if you don't want them. And then show you also how you can make copies of your folders or move them to a different location, which are all part of organizing your Outlook in that sense. And so to do that, we will pull up our Microsoft Outlook application, which is already open from last video. And what we will do is simply go to the mail or email mode or view. Our automatic reply is still on from the last video, so we will switch it off. And then let's go to inbox. So this is the folder pan here. And basically what happens is that for every menu or view, like calendar, or tags, or contacts, they each have their folder pan. So basically, you know about the inbox, where if you get an email that comes into the inbox, that is what you see based on all the practice we've done. Draft means if you type in an email and you don't send it and you save it, it will be kept on the draft until you're ready to continue. Send items shows items that you sent to other people, which is like keeping a copy of your sent messages. Deleted items simply is a folder that when you delete any email or move any email to this folder, they're deleted and they are kept here. When you delete an email that is in the deleted items folder, then it's permanently deleted. For example, if I take this email and I click on it and I say, I go to home and let's say click delete. So it asks me if I want to permanently delete it and I say yes, and it's gone. So this is how you delete emails permanently that were originally deleted and are kept in the delete folder. Of course, you can always restore deleted email, but I think when you right click, you should find restore. And if you don't find restore, one way would be to move it directly, like just drag it back into inbox. We tried this first time. Okay, for some reason we didn't complete this, so let's try with another one, which is really a normal email like this one. Drag it in, and if you go, then you will find it with the attachment. So it's 2 copies now. An archive is when you want to just archive other information for yourself. If the company you're using, the Microsoft Outlook, is connected to a database or server, you can always archive your emails in a way that you can get it back, maybe from cloud. But you can also create more folders. So junk is emails going into junk that are maybe like a security threat or something that just misses the inbox. And outbox is when you send a mail and it's taking too long. Sometimes Outlook keeps it in the outbox to remind you that you might need to resend the mail. What we want to do now is show you how to add folders that do not come with Outlook. And one way would be, so I can add a folder on the inbox, draft, or that, but what I do is I simply add them on the archives. So if I want to create my own folders to keep my own things in a way that I can track it, I can do that. So what I will do is go to archives, right click, and say new folder, and I'll type the name, let's say new related to project 1. And when I do that, I just click somewhere around this environment. I can do that again and say another one, project 2, and I can do here, I can say I want to keep all my routines, and I right click again and I do another folder, and I want to do all the personal things there. Okay, and so this is how you create folders under. So even if I want something under inbox, I can right click inbox, new folder, and say inbox personal. But it's not advisable. You can just use something under archives and you can easily focus on one part. So now that I created the inbox, I would want to delete it. So I go there, I right click, and I would look for delete folder. Ask me if I want, say yes, and I take it out. The same way, if I want to take out personal, maybe I don't want my personal things to be in my work computer, for example, I can just right click it or click on it. So when I click on it, there's no content. You see, the content is not there. We will talk about how to put things in these folders later. And I can simply do right click and delete. Say yes. I can also say, let me add another folder, a new folder, and I can say project. So maybe I made a mistake here. Go back to inbox. So I created a folder called 343, but maybe I wanted what I wanted to do is project 3. So I can rename it or modify it by right clicking, and I say rename folder. And I click inside and delete what I want. If I want a completely new name, well, let's leave this and then I will click outside. But if I want a completely new name, I would right click it, rename folder, and since it's all highlighted, selected, I can say this is not a project but group 1. And you see that Outlook automatically arranges it itself. So I can also create subfolders, like in project 1 I can do right click and I can say project 1 level 1, and I can hide it or expand to see it. Also for the archives, I can do this to hide it all and expand. So in this way, you see how you can create your own folders. We've also seen how you can delete it, but you can also copy folders. So let's say I expand this. I want to make a copy of this folder. I can right click it and I say copy. It brings out the box and says, where do you want to place the copy of this folder? Say, well, let me go to sent items, and I say okay. And you see, under my sent items, I can drop it down and I can see a copy of that. If I don't want this folder here and I want to move it, what I can do is right click it and I say move, and I say okay, let's take it to group, make it a subfolder under group, say okay. So when we wait for this to happen, then you see that the project 1 level 1 subfolder should fall under the group. And if I drop this down, there you see that again. Okay, I can also move a folder by just going to it, click it, and take it on the draft, for example. Make sure it's not showing the black line. Black line indicates the position, but if I want it to be a subfolder on the draft, I will make sure draft is highlighted. Okay. And it tells you move it to draft and you say yes. And if you drop draft, you see it there. But if I don't want it to be a subfolder but a main folder, I can click it and put it, make sure that this time the dark line tells me where I should stop. So yes, and it stays between sent and deleted. So basically, this is how to copy and move, rename, and delete folders in that way. So you can use this any way you want. In our next video, I'll show you how to add contents to these folders, because now they are all empty because we just created them, and you can organize it in the way you want. Thank you, and talk with you in the next video.